Hi guys, welcome to the check-in. Thanks for checking in with me today. I hope you're all doing very well. I'm doing very well myself. Sorry it's been a little bit since I made a video. So today I'm going to talk about two things really. Exercise and education. First, exercise. Whilst exercise isn't the solution for everybody in regards to their health or mental health, it sometimes helps me. It sometimes helps to motivate me and push me because I do have a habit of procrastinating and being unmotivated. That being said, exercise in general is not a solution, perfect solution for me, or even really a solution to really, not really a solution as such, but it's certainly an asset to managing depression. I've found, as you might be able to see, I've actually just finished a 2-hour session in the gym. I don't normally do that. I only really tend to go to the gym once a week because of the convenience of work, because of convenience and inconvenience of my working situation at the moment. So it's a bit difficult to get to the gym, but I do try to run around where I'm staying and so forth. So I do get some exercise, and I'm walking pretty much every day anyway. So, but yeah, I think that exercise it does have some elements to it that can sometimes it can give you a sense of it can make you feel like you can do anything, you can achieve anything, and of course that's partly because of the release of chemicals in the brain as you're sort of in the height of whatever it is you're doing, whether it's jogging, swimming, weights, or whatever, cardio, whatever it is whatever you mostly do in your workout. I tend to do a mixture of sit-ups, weightlifting a little bit. Sometimes I do some press-ups. I should really have more of a tight format really in the gym, but I don't really. I tend to, I have sort of a sort of set routine that I have, but I don't follow it to the letter really. Although I probably should do. But what I do tend to do is do reps. So I might do 50 sit-ups, for example, and then go and do 100, burn off 100 calories on the treadmill, or rather the stepper, or whatever it's called, the thing where you go like that. I don't know, whatever it's called. And then I might do some weights, do some star jumps or something like that, whatever. Sometimes it's just sort of just keeping things loose and not letting muscles and stuff get too tight. But so I tend to do some sort of repetition of that sort of stuff, and that's kind of what I generally speaking do. The amazing thing is when I'm in the gym, I feel amazing. I feel great. I feel just. Especially when I'm on my own in the gym, really, I feel like I just feel I can achieve anything I want. I feel more positive. I feel much more happier. But of course, that's always it's in the moment sort of thing, and it's really, motivation's not meant to be something that's. Sometimes we're inspired to do things, but unfortunately, being inspired doesn't. The emotions of being inspired or the feelings around it don't last very long, and that's the same in the gym. And it's the act of keeping exercise up the act of keeping fit is an ongoing battle, especially if you've got mental health issues, or you're just lazy. It can be a very challenging thing to continue with. Education, of course, is also highly important in your life, because it can give you so many stepping stones into the world, in terms of financial gain, whatever career you potentially want to go into, or even just a job. But it's more than just that. It's about your self-esteem and your self-worth, and coinciding with exercise and the ability to be more confident in yourself, not to be arrogant or to be stuck up and self-absorbed or anything like that, but certainly to just have somewhat of a sense of, whether it's delusion or not, whatever, just to have some sense of happiness, I guess, and some sense of purpose. And sometimes that's what exercising and studying does for me. For a long time, I wasn't ready to study. I wasn't really. And sometimes, even now, I don't necessarily feel like I'm really. If there is an idealistic place in your life or time, whatever there is to study, I don't think there is. But I think there's certainly advantages to perhaps waiting to study, or to start a rigorous exercising regime. But I think one of the reasons I wanted to talk about these two things together is because I think they go hand in hand. And although I would say that it obviously depends on what level you're studying at, but certainly at the college level or university level, I think it's better to have as much time as possible to dedicate to the act of studying, because it's such a demanding. Higher education is so demanding, and it's not so much it's demanding. It's time consuming. That's what I want. That's probably the better way of putting it. It's time consuming because you've got to put the time aside to study, and of course, and you've got to revise your material. You've got to be able to make sure that you've understood it correctly, and then you've got to be able to apply it in academic practices and reality. So all of that stuff takes a huge amount of time, and I think people out there that are studying for like bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, whatever, or even just studying at college, really, and they're working part time or even full time. I've got nothing but respect for those people. I realise how difficult that is, having been in that situation myself. Now I understand how difficult that is to balance everything. And I'm only on the foundation course at the moment. I haven't actually started my degree as such. Although this course, this initial course that I'm doing will count towards my final grade or grades. Hopefully upon completion of the degree in 3 years' time, 2 to 3 years' time, 4 if I'm lagging behind or whatever. Hopefully it'll be within 3 years. We'll see. But I found that trying to tackle and handle the unbelievable amount of stress that's involved in studying at the university level. You need to have some of the other parts of your life sort of in check first, I think, before you can even think about traveling down that route. And I think for me personally, exercising it's not a cure. It's not some sort of perfect potion or anything to getting my mental health in check. It's nothing like that, and I wouldn't ever want people to think that exercising is some sort of supernatural presence. It's just, we all have to exercise. Well, we don't have to, but I think it's certainly in our interest to exercise and to keep ourselves fit, because I think if we can keep our body fit, we can help in the process of keeping our mind more balanced. And especially, if you're somebody that suffers but struggles with your psychological states, exercise might be something that can, and as well, if you're trying to study for a degree, or you're just trying to study, or you're on a training course, or whatever it is you're trying to do to progress yourself into whatever it is you're trying to head towards or you want to do, then I think that exercising can be, sometimes it can be a key to keeping you on the right road. And because it's very easy to go off the rails when as I've already mentioned numerous times, and obviously in this video, having depression and anxiety. Mentioned depression, but in other ways I've mentioned depression and anxiety. Having those things, it's very easy. It's very tempting to dwell and stay in that negative spot. And I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong as such, or not beneficial in some ways, because it actually is. But like everything in life, it's all about balance and compromise and understanding what the right amount of something is best for you or not. And I think that if you're trying to gain something in life that's hopefully in the future going to, give you a life, basically, at least give you a retirement you can actually enjoy. That's something that you've got to work towards. That's not something you can do. You don't just get that. That's something that's you've got to basically work your ass off for God knows how many years. And education is just one very small step in that. Well, actually, not a very small step, but it's a small step in that process, because there's obviously lots of other self-development aspects besides education that lead you into a good career. Having a good life, of course, your attitude, your mental capacity, your intelligence, your focus, determination to do something, want something, and so forth. But that's all I really wanted to say in this video. I'm glad that I kind of waited to start studying. Really, I wasn't emotionally and intellectually mature enough really for this kind of study. Exercising for me is just I wanted to mention it because I felt it has helped in some ways, and there is days where I just want to go off the rails and I want to quit everything and stop. But I don't know, when you exercise, it for temporarily it sort of resets your brain and just makes you feel a bit better about yourself. So if you're not exercising, get out there and do it. It will help you in some ways. It's not a one size fits all type of thing, because it doesn't work for everybody and everybody is different. But in some form of exercise, I would recommend to everybody, whether that's just going for a walk or a jog in the morning, swim 2 times a week, 3 times a week, whatever, and just cutting down on the shit. Just cut down on the crap out there. So much sugar and fat and just absolute garbage now that's out there in the shops and everything. And I'm just I fall victim to it all just as much as anybody else. I eat crap all the time, and I shouldn't do. I know I don't. And that's another reason. That's another thing that's you've got to get a handle on. You can exercise all you want, but if your diet's crap, it doesn't fucking matter how many calories you burn. It's pointless. You might as well not bother going exercising if your diet consists of McDonald's, KFC, and 50 bottles of Pepsi. So anyway, yeah. So that's all I really wanted to say. So anyway, thanks guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.